Hello, good evening, and welcome to another live. I'm talking there, just listening to my own voice there and thinking, am I actually alive? Am I live? Just answer it. I'm going to do my best as usual. Hi, you fortune cookies. I hope that you're still here because I did my best to be all ready and on time, and I've just scooted up here with my cup of tea and me brewing hand, and it's just lucky that the studio set up from the last bit of recording I did, or I'd have been late again. Oh, my timing, my clock is just all over the place. Serendipity. I love the vest or waistcoat. Right, so it is a waistcoat, but here's the thing, right? So I've always known them as waistcoats because of that's how it's always been pronounced to me. But I was looking on eBay, and other companies are out there for looking for stuff to buy. And it's also called a gilet. Right, well, I'm not posh. I just speak like I do. So to me, it's a waistcoat. I've had all sorts of things, people sort of vest, waistcoat, and strange pronunciations, but I'll just give it as it is. Hi, Jason. Yeah, absolutely. When I get round to that, certainly will. And fortune cookies by Annabelle. So the thing is, if you do catching this, because like last week I did an included Facebook on here last week, and this week I haven't. So this is whatever we generate between us guys. So I'll be on as long as you hear. I've set my channel up on YouTube there, and we'll see where we go. So I've really got into this sort of open format with this, and I'm quite happily to be led by you guys. I didn't really put a lot of planning into this. I tend to like to have some keywords to go off if I'm looking at things. But tonight I've decided that I'm not actually going to do that. I was scheduled to be live last night. I didn't actually put it out there, but ended up busy in the garden and taking a shed down and one thing and another. So I thought the sort of mental health podcast side of things I want to keep distinctly separate. But also what I want to bring in now on the spiritual side is as well as dealing with those sort of mental health issues, also dealing with how spirit's been. Right, so all you guys out there that connect in with spirit, I don't know if you've been anything like me, but it's mental. I mean, I had it described to me last year as dark night of the soul moments, where you really have to go into that void and deal with all of the bits of crap that are floating around there and plot your way through it all. And as well as all of that, which is usual form for me, because you're using lessons that you learned, you're using live feedback and finding out whereabouts your next steps are. And all I keep getting through is just rest, chill. I mean, personally, I don't feel like I've got anything to rest from, because my year really spiritually only starts on this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So I've done a couple of readings this month, but that's been really, really quiet. So the aim now is to start building in. I've changed my banners, or I'm going to change my banners. I'm changing my table layout, but essentially I'm still me. It's just that I wanted to sort of express to people when I'm working spiritually that not everything that you do is all love and light, because you have to help people that are struggling with one or two things. And sometimes we have to go into the dark and we have to do the shadow work. And I've got to be honest with you guys watching, that I weren't prepared for all of that. Found it really, really, I mean, I'm just a normal everyday guy, but this new guide that's coming in, this shamanic guide, this healing work that I'm attempting to build up on, it's very, very strong. And to work with his energies, I need to be on tip-top form. So it's like almost like going to the spiritual gym. So I don't know how far that's all going to progress. But like with everything, I take it with an open heart, and I just push on. So the idea tonight, guys, as I just put on here, is any mediumship messages that come through, I'll just deliver by the perception of what I pick up. I'm being told that I need to work on that, on my self-esteem with that, so much that my expectations are sometimes set too high. But I want the best for everybody, and that's the thing. I want clarity. I want to help people link into people much quicker. And also to do card readings. I've got my 3 decks laid out there. I've got my tarot, and I've got my oracle cards and I've got the angel oracle cards in front of me. So what I'll do is, as I look at names, I will just pick through as I go along and just see what we can come up with. And in between time, we'll do like the chat show format, and I shall put there when I've got anything to come through or anything to talk about. Because, say, at the minute, my head's like bouncy castle. And I'll explain something that sort of popped into my head today. It was really funny because I'm like taking an objective view from it. I'm going, huh? And I've got to find a way of formatting that. So I will go on with that. So let's just do a few hellos there. Hello, Jason. Thanks for joining. We will get to you in a minute, Serendipity. Hi, Tara. Hope you're well. And let's just keep up these cookie. Tara, I will get to you. I am guided to write for my future career. Am I guided to write for my future career? Right. I'll work to that in a minute, Carney. You have a new wise man working with you. Oh, I tell you what, right. We'll get to that a little bit more in depth in a moment. Very high vibe, long beard, greyish hair. I don't know if you saw my post this morning, Serendipity, what I was putting out there. This is how I see the guide that's working in and around me. And if you check out my page, if you do Facebook at all, just have a look, see what you think of that energy that's working round with me. It is, wow, you know, the strength of him. So it is absolutely amazing. Right, let me start going through these now before I go off on my usual tangent where I disappear down a rabbit hole and then have to find my way back again. Right, so as you were the first one to ask, or the first one that's showing up, Serendipity, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go tarot. I'll give them a good shuffle. Now, I love it that Fortune Cookies is on here, because if you go and watch her channel, like everything's neatly organised with the cards and all of this sort of, right, I'm as random as hell. I sit here and I wait for my link with Spirit, right, and then I wait to see who comes in. And that's something coming in for you straight away, because I've just got over a cough. And I've got over the sort of cold and all of the rest of that gunky stuff. So when somebody steps in that close, I feel, Serendipity, that I've got a father figure around you. If he's not a father figure, we're talking grandfather. And he's asking me to slow down my delivery for you, to make sure that these points land with you. He's just going that your energy at times, it's like up in the air, and then you hit the other side of it. So if you was described as moody, your moody would be, you know, up here at one moment and then down here. He's just talking about regulating your moods and just being a little bit kinder to yourself at this moment in time. All right. He's telling me something, I feel, that he's saying to you, let other people take a turn. You know, don't carry so much weight of expectation on your shoulder. I don't know if what you've got actually going on in your life, but is there anything that you can actually delegate to other people? Because I feel a bit weighed down here. I've got the image in my mind, and I always struggle to know which country this comes from, but they carry the yoke across the shoulders with the heavy water buckets on. And I just feel that there's a need to you to actually stop, put these down. I mean, we've spoken about your balance and things like that, but I feel that this is to do with balance in an emotional sense. So there's some worries or some blocks in the way there that I've sort of either late last year or at the beginning of this that have not okay, thank you. I need to put that to one side because somebody's talking at me really fast. So they've not quite been dealt with head on at the moment. So we're still, it's like we're fighting in reverse. We're going back and, oh, I wish I'd have done that. And in hindsight, I should have done right. And we're missing what's going on in the present. So we need a bit of a rewind in some sense or another. And this is, keep it simple, I'm being told to tell you, Serendipity. Rinse and repeat. So do something, find out whether it's any good for you, and then rinse and repeat. And don't let anybody else talk you out of the pathways that you want to go down. You may well have limitations. I think some of us at some point in our lives do have things that stop us confidence-wise or knock us because of what's actually happened around the family and things like that. But what I'm being told is you have got a real strong sense. What's your intuition telling you? I'm being told trust your intuition over certain matters going on around you, no matter how much. And I call it the state of blah. So when somebody starts telling me something that I instantly know that A, I'm not interested in, or B, is a load of crap, I go into a state of blah. Right? And all I hear is blah, 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 blah. You must do blah. You've got to do this, blah, blah. Right. And it's of no interest to me because I've already checked out of the room. So I think what you need to do is, in some way or another, is turn your dial down and just switch out of some of the monkey chatter that's going on around you. Cards for you, fantastic cards, right? And I'll deal with the nitty gritty, and I'll deal with the more difficult cards, because my feeling is, not having had the training here that Fortune Cookies and Annabelle's had, that I talk about how the cards make me feel rather than knowing intimately what the details mean. So I've got an outline. So we put the outline of the jigsaw puzzle down, and then we put the pieces in depending on how we feel. So swords for me, when I did my training, were the more heavier essence of things to deal with, because they impact on your very real life. They are all about your thoughts, your intellect, your mind, how you process. And for you, I've got the heartbreak card, and I'm not doing it in the right here and into the future. I'm doing it in the right here and now, just trying to get that at the camera angle there. So what this is saying is that something, your thoughts, or something that somebody said, because we've got the blue for the communication, or something there that has left an imprint on your heart and is still causing you pain. The thing is with this as well, though, is this card can have as much power as you let it have, because it's only a 3. It's only at the start of a cycle, so we're nowhere near completion. So what I would be looking at is, there's 3 elements to this, so there may be more than one thing that's upsetting you at the moment. Prioritize you, right? Above all else, prioritize you. What energy have you got? What fight have you got in you to deal with these situations as they come up? What is breaking your heart? Have you actually expressed it? Have you told the person? Have you set up boundaries? Have you drawn your line in the sand? Because when I see this card, I think, right, I need to take control of my mind, control of my surroundings. And if you can't take control of your surroundings, then it's not worth worrying about anyway. It's not worth causing yourself upset over. So as I say, because it's only a 3, it doesn't hold much power over you. Then, to give you 2 fantastic cups to come on top of the work that you're doing or attempting to do, we've got 2 near completions on different suits. So the tarot is all about the journey from the ace to the 10. So you've got the ace at the beginning and the 10 is completion. So we've had a difficult card there at the start, which I like to get them out of the way early, because we know that we can kick that one's ass, and then we start doing something a little bit more productive for ourselves and a little bit more uplifting. So we've got the 9 of Cups card. Now, in this deck that I've got with this, what this card is known as is the Make-A-Wish card. It's good fortune. It is raising a glass to yourself. It's good cheer. And because it's cups, it's all about emotions. So if we deal with all of the old words, we deal with all of the old thought patterns, and we get that out of our heart chakra, our emotional center, then we are on the progress route, and we are making progress. And we've got this cups there, which is all about emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. But to get there, we've got that orange at the top there, and the orange is all about who you are. Right? It's the sacral chakra, who you are, what you're about, what's your sexuality, what's your drive, what is your personality. Have you got lost along the way somewhere? So this is, for me, is about rebuilding in some certain senses. But there's a high, keep putting that in front of my face, there's a high likelihood of success once you put your mind and put your heart into something. So this is, again, is a message to turn around and say, right, if your heart's not in something, get rid of it. Right, stop it. Don't worry about it. Let it go. And then, I don't know what you like financially, but if we chuck in another completion card there, we've got the 9 of Pentacles, which is the card of financial independence. When I talk about pentacles, money, finances, wealth, riches, and also my newest thing that I throw in there is non-material wealth. So non-material wealth is the things that you'll invest in that may not pay off immediately, but they will pay off in the future. So the 9 of Pentacles, when we look at, I like to split cards down, dead simple. So when we look at this lady, she knows what she wants. She likes the finer things. She's got the ability to stockpile money. So what I'm feeling with this card for you to say serendipity is about investment, but investment in the self that is going to pay off in the longer term. So I'm just going to go down into my cards there, and I'm just going to give you a message: strength and grace through kindness, self-confidence and forgiveness. So the lovely purple card there is asking you to work your way through that sort of strength side of whatever's going on with you, and always trust that you will end up on the right side of it as long as you trust your intuition. Right, guys, so let me just chuck them back on there. Would love a card, please. Right, Jason, absolutely, my friend, because I don't know whether I got to you last week, but we will see where we get to this week. My guiding, I'm really, I hope you're still on, Carney. Can you let me know a little bit further down the things there, because I do my best to keep up with these comments, but I don't always manage it. I got a little bit distracted last week because I was on Facebook as well. That there was a lot of spammers coming on, which you guys were absolutely excellent at getting rid of. And the amount of people that's come back to me over these spammers, and just like, it's not me. So tonight, I just wanted a bit of peace and concentrate on working with spirit. Right. So Jason, I get a gentleman around you that comes in that very matter-of-factly. I feel like he's quite a private gentleman, could be seen to other people outside as quite cold, but has got a fun sense about him. And what he's telling me is his heart was in the right place, but sometimes his mouth wasn't. So if he's anything like me, he could put his foot in it in an instant by upsetting people, but actually what he's looking to do is jolly people along. So I don't know whether you're a teacher, guide or mentor or something at this moment in time, or you're contemplating it or considering it. But what I'm being told now is the right time to put your plans into motion. Don't hold off so much. Trust in your inner being, in your inner guidance system. There's some things there that you're spending a lot of your life's hours on trying to find an answer to. And what I'm being told to tell you is don't dwell. Don't dwell. Don't get stuck on things. Sometimes plans need a revisit. Sometimes things that we've got into with all good heart and intention need chucking in the effort bucket and having a re-look at it. See, I'm doing well, guys, because I didn't swear then, and I'm not, and I normally do. So your 3 cards. So we've got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is an emotional card there. Again, the Ace is about new beginnings. So I've read this before many, many times, and I have 3 ways of looking at this, the Ace of Cups. With it being the beginning, it's that initial rush, that all that excitement about something new. So it could be the renewal of a relationship. So in the sense of going from one stage to another. So people out there that are in a relationship, but they're not married, or they're not making that next step and having children and all the rest of it. It could be the opportunity to strengthen that relationship. It could be the renewal of the relationship within the self. You know, you decide that, right, I'm fed up of pulling myself to pieces. I need to be a little bit kinder to myself. So that's the energy around that one as well. And it could be just an outright new relationship that you're looking for. So look at friendship situations, look at social situations, and just look what you're about and what you actually want to fulfill your needs. It's a lovely card. And again, we've got the orange there. So that's dealing with your drive, who you are, your sexuality, your intuition, and who you are as a person. So maybe you've just been on that sense where you've been knocking yourself just a little bit too much. So this card comes in as a timely reminder. We show the planets moving across there, that each day that you get up, okay, thank you, I'll pass that on. Each day that you get up is an opportunity to do that day differently, because as long as we're getting out of bed every morning and we're alive, we can make any changes that we want. And if we can't make the changes, then we don't have to worry about it. That circle going round and round. So your life would be much easier if you simplified your choices, is what I'm being told there. Queen of Wands there. Now, I love this lady's energy when she comes in because she's the queen of make, do and mend, but also she's got a fire about her. She's the sort of person that gets the home life organized. She's very, very strong in what she does. She's got that fire in her belly, and the fire for me is all about fuel. Fuel that we need fuel to manifest. We need fuel to actually make progress. And this, I'm just looking here at the red, and the red is the root chakra. The root chakra is all about your base, your foundations, building, rebuilding, and strengthening. So when we look at the queen there with her being quite fiery, she will defend herself, she will look after her family, and she will fight for what is hers. But she just goes about it in a very earthly type of manner. So just my key word for you is about organization. And I don't know you at all, Jason, or I'm not aware that I know you. So I'm just bringing in this card here saying, talking about the High Priestess, who's the effortless link. And I have to slow my delivery down a little bit on this one because I always get it trapped around my tongue. See, I'm doing it already and I haven't even said it yet. So the High Priestess is the link between the esoteric world and the earthbound. She's sort of floating in between that conscious and subconscious thinking mind. What she also is the mistress of mysteries and secrets yet to be revealed. So coming up around you in the next couple of months, information that will come to you that will give you a nudge, a push in the direction that you're looking to go. And she's also the one that brings in encouragement and love to tap into previously untapped potential. So when I see those cards, Jason, I think you're in for some exciting times. So sort of cross the, what's the saying? Dot the T's and cross the I's, whatever it is. I've got mixed up probably knowing me, but getting yourself organized. So remember, you're as good as anybody else. You just got to work on that direction and get behind yourself. I'm just seeing the image of this scrum. And I'm pushing behind this scrum. So you've got the support from spirit. We just haven't quite got our own backing at the moment. Right. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Right. Keep going with these cards. No, I didn't see your post. Right. Okay. I will get to that for you. Right. Am I guided to write for my future career? Right. Now, Carney, lovely new name. So welcome. Thanks for coming in and checking out on me. And with this, I'm going to go with what I'm guided. And I'm also going to let the cards answer because the cards always tell a story. So as the spiritual counselor, as the guy that's looking at the word in there, because that's my hobby, is I look at words and then I let it go into the imagination and come out with it. Right. Am I guided to write for my future career? Now, the first thing that you've got to say is, do you really want to, right? Because I've written a book. And it was bloody hard work for somebody that has a mind that zots off like a butterfly. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of focus. It's brilliant when you're in that flow and you're writing, but it's difficult when you've got that block. You've got an idea what you want to put across, but it doesn't always come out from head to pen to whatever means that you're typing it up on. My feeling is with you, and I'm bringing in a gentleman's energy around you again. We're waiting for the ladies to come in. There must be powder in the noses somewhere, but I've got a gentleman's energy that's coming in around there for you, Carney, that is saying, okay, right, I don't think that's got anything to do with the writing, and I'll get to that in a second, but he's leading me to believe it is right for you to make this change. It's the right timing. So if you'd have asked me this question sort of 6 to 9 months ago, I would have said no, it wasn't the right time, and you will probably would be right to wait. Now I think you need to go at it all guns blazing. Right, so I'm just going to bring in, before I turn those cards over, and I'm not quite sure what this connects with, so if you want to take this piece of the message with a pinch of salt, that's absolutely fine. There's an old saying that I've heard, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, which basically means if somebody else is doing it and then turning around and saying, right, you can't do it, well, why not? So I don't know what that's in regard to. So just be mindful of who's feeding you information, who's encouraging you and who's discouraging you. And also just check on why people are wanting to nudge you away from what I feel is a dream there. So it's picking your associates, picking your friends and picking that energy accordingly. So whatever you decide, Carney, and when we get to the cards in a minute, whatever you decide, don't be put off or influenced by other people's opinions. It's telling me that it's time to step out of somebody else's shadow for some reason or another. So 3 cards I've got. Yeah, right. Now, this is what I love. I draw the cards after I've done the messages, right? So you're asking about, am I guided to write for my future career? 100% from the cards here that what you need to do over this next year is invest in yourself, because the first card that's come out for me is the 7 of Pentacles. Pentacles, money, finances, riches, enrichment, and non-material wealth. In this case, non-material wealth, because it's what do I invest in? What do I put my money into? What do I put my time into? Spirit, the universe, myself, any other readers or anything like that cannot tell you what to do, because you have got your own free will. However, when we're working with these cards, the signs of financial success are just at arm's length. So it's what we do. So if you give yourself a good year, and I mean experience everything that the writing game brings in for you, because there's days where it don't pay off, and there's days where the absolute heights of pleasure come in. So when I see this card, it's finding that balance. So when the new money comes in, remember to keep enough by to start ploughing in for next year. So I think that this year is like ploughing a furrow. It's like putting your seeds down into the ground, nurturing them, and then watching them grow. You will be able to make an accurate assessment, I feel, towards the end of the year, sort of September, October time, when we're talking about the harvest period. As I said to you, don't get bogged down by other people's opinions, because we've got the card of petty fighting and squabbles and things like that. So if you're looking for support, this is where you've got to go. It's my decision. It's me that's going to do this, because if I'm looking at somebody else's encouragement or somebody else's way of pushing on through, and I want them to lean on, they're not going to be there because they're too busy squabbling amongst themselves. So it's one of them where we go, right, I'm not going to launch a big initiative on anybody, because I just need to get on quietly within my work, make a decision, stick to it, and then make that progression. And finally, you've got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups there, as I explained in there, is that 3-way card. And in this sense with you, I do feel like somewhere around you that there is a need for a new relationship, whether that's a partner needs challenging over something, or whether it's the relationship that you have together, or whether you just need that support from another. So there's something about the newness there. There's something about applying that enthusiasm. And what my guide is telling you is to trust that inner knowing. Don't keep questioning yourself. Right, crack on and enjoy the process, because what I'm always told is life's about the journey, not about the destination. And I think you've maybe got a little bit hung up in too many little details. So just go out there and enjoy these next few months and express your creativity. Serendipity. No, didn't see your post. Right. So if you look at my Urban Angel page, or in fact, even my own personal page, if you're on there, that I've been visualizing this new guide, and he is an angel, right? But he's an angel of darkness and light. So he's what I would class, if I found a picture of fallen angel. So he's probably had a life on this plane, but he's one of these that's kind of like a warrior. And what I feel with him is he's like now starting to spread his wings, and I really feel his energy around my shoulders. So as he's coming in, sort of lower shoulders, the wings are sort of coming out there, and we're getting ready to fly. But we're also getting ready to do the battles that people come to me for, because I am a strong character. My background is dealing with people in difficult situations. It's maybe just something because I left it 10 years ago that I've let go by. But going forward into this new season, you will get my happy side when I'm doing the cards and making those connections. But I also want to do the therapeutic side of things, where I help people challenge their mindsets and listen to what they're saying. So it's kind of like a cross between spiritual counseling and just a good kick in the pants to go, right, what are we struggling with? And let's go and have a battle with it. And let's win these battles and start making progress. Right, so let's just keep going. Your dad is in spirit. Bless you. I send out my thoughts for you there. Just trying to do that. Can I have a card about... Can I have a card about situation? You can, my friend. Right. Anybody who's interested in sound therapy, and Pete is a wonderful, wonderful advocate of spirit himself. Very, very talented at what he does. And like I was saying there to the previous lady about working your way through a year and experiencing all of it before you make any big decisions, because Pete's come from a corporate background. Spirit's now started to come in. He's doing more work, and he's now full-time as a sound practitioner, and he's really, really good at what he does. And what I like about him, me personally, and I have met him a number of times, is he cuts to the quick. There is no... Sorry, I'm getting distracted because a card, Pete, my friend, has just shot across the floor. So we have got to have it. If it's shot out, then Spirit want to bring that through for you. Right, number 2. And number 3. Right, so let's have a look what we're going, because that's how I'm... that's how what I'm doing. Let me just... yeah. Please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, because what I will say is that I don't see all of the comments on YouTube till afterwards when they come in. So... and I'm streaming through StreamYard, so thank you for that. Morning, Rainbow Rose. Thank you, Jason. Oh, bless you. I'll explain more about that probably another day. This is the character that turns up with the waistcoat on, and I always feel with him that he's always really, really good. But what my work is about personally this year is bringing in both the both sides of the character, so that I can just sit here and do things like this, dressed however I want, talk however I want. But this character, when he comes in, keeps me disciplined, and I'm working on bringing the two together. But thank you for the compliment. Let me just keep going through here. 11 watching and only 3 likes. Yeah, guys, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll just put that up there because this is absolutely true. And I'll answer that as well, Annabelle. When I started out with this, Pete, don't think I've forgotten you, because I will get back to you. And if not, I will find a comment and I'll talk to you anyway. When I started this channel, the idea was to get monetization. And the reason I wanted monetization was because I thought I could reach a bigger audience and help more people, because that's what I'm looking at. I want to help people deal with their own energy. I want to promote healers that do the healing. And if they've got any blockages, because we can't always read ourselves, we can't always shift those blockages by ourselves. So it's handy that when you know people that can sort of step in and help you. And that was what it was all about. But what I found is this channel does not work like I hoped it to be. So going forward, I know I have to be patient, and I understand that. But going forward, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to come on here, because I've watched tons of videos on how to promote, how to put these things in, and I don't understand it all. I know me, and I know what the power is that Spirit have lent me to help people. That's what I do now. So I'm going to go on there, and I will hopefully learn as I go along to improve the quality of the material that I put on here. But I'm not worried about it one way or the other, because what I'm here to do is to inspire people to make those changes so that they can go out and help more people. So I hope that explains it a little bit. So I would love to get to 1,000. But what I've found since the beginning of the year is everything's just slowed down. Now, whether that's about my ability, whether that's about people's connection with me, I truthfully don't know. But my idea is that if I get one person on here that I reach, and then 6 months, a year down the line, they can turn around and say that I started to turn it round then when you gave me that bit of advice, then I know I've done part of my life's path. Right, so let me see if I can find you again, Pete, just so I can put your comment up. Hopefully, yeah. and I'll keep going through the comments, and I'll do my best to be disciplined. Right, 3 cards for you, Pete. And can you just let me know if you're still on, Pete, please? Yes, it's trying to hide. Yes, so I've never done anything on you. I'm on Facebook though. Right, thank you. I love how you're approaching you. Right, let me just go back here. Right, thanks, guys. I will keep up. So if anybody's come on, thank you. Appreciate your time, guys. Really, really appreciate that. Hi, Tarot Destiny. Hope you're well. I'm just going back here just to try and keep up with where I am. Right, that's it. Right. So I'm not asking the question, Pete. I'll just give it as it is. You know what I'm like. Blunt as and just pass on whatever I believe spirit coming in. Right, the testing me in this sense, because it's like, let's just see how he's going to respond to this. Right, so what they've given me, Pete, is one of my least favorite sayings about crossroads. Right, now, you don't lack confidence. You don't have an issue with self-image or anything like that. So when I come to crossroads, that for me is indecision. That means I'm not sure. Now, I'm not a big believer if anybody has more than a 5-minute conversation with me and mentions the word crossroads, that I'm not a big fan of the terminology, because my belief is that if you come up to that fork in the road moment, right, which way am I going to go? There'll be a very, very tiny percentage of people that will deliberately go down a path that causes them harm or causes them nerves or makes a bad decision knowingly, right? So we can eliminate one choice. If it's something where we're going down there and we're going, I'm not quite sure what to do because I don't think I'm good enough, or I haven't got the wherewithal to do this, I haven't got the strength, then there's another issue to deal with so that we can take that option. We remove all of the energy blocks, and then there is a third option, which is, right, do you know what? I won't do anything. I'll just see how it pans out, see which way I'm going to go. And I always use the three coin toss with people, because nobody seems to make their own mind up in the first one. They don't go heads or tails, right, and whatever it is, I'm going for it. They're like best of 3. So we send the coin up for the first time and it lands heads. We send the coin up for the second time and it goes tails. We're sending it up for the third time, and this is the be all and end all. This is the decider. And as it starts to rotate, I would pretty much guarantee that 80 or 90% of people already have an inkling of what that they hope that it's going to land on. So my advice is always cut out the middleman and just make that decision. However, what I'm sensing with you on some way or another, Pete, is reluctance, because what my guide is saying, yes, maybe at the moment that things aren't seemingly paying off. Right? I don't know what this is. I feel like it's in relation to work, because I feel like anything else, you would bounce off Debs there and there would be a meeting. So this is within the soul. This is something there where it's not quite right. So in my head, I'm sat here and I'm feeling the need for a rewrite on something. Life doesn't always offer you a safety net. So if you're looking at building that safety net where you're probably taking on other work, or I don't know why, I'll pass this across, Pete, because this is what's coming through through the old voice channels. Something about being offered consultancy on a project somewhere, or asking for your advice and guidance on something that will maybe step apart from what you're doing and what you're achieving. My feeling is, by all means, go do it, right? By all means, go do it. Get the books in, get the money in, get the finances in. But if you come down to that road and you're going, right, I don't know whether it's, I should be having a part-time job, having spirit, right, don't give up on what you're doing. You have come a long, long way in a short space of time. And I hate giving this word because it makes my skin itch, but you need a little bit of patience. Right. So if you're needing to spread your wings in some way or another, just a rewrite is what's being advised. But I tell you what, my friend, in some way or another, you've got the card of study coming in there for, and in this sense with this card there, so we've got the 8 of Pentacles, so we're on a pathway that's coming towards a completion. 8, 9, 10. So number 8 there is all about study, right? It's all about what you're going to invest your time in, your life's hours in, to produce the money. So in some sense or another, I sense that there is a decision that needs making in these next couple of months. Always back yourself, mate. And when I see this card, I always look at the effort that he's putting in. So he's learning by candlelight. So that for me talks about having balance in the life, because you've got the kids, you've got the wife, you've got both your spiritual practices, and there's a hell of a lot of other stuff going on. You can only split yourself so far, mate. So whatever this opportunity is that's coming in for new learning, I'm just getting the sense that you may well have to burn the candle at both ends to achieve everything that you want to do. So there's going to be a real rush period of energy. But remember, money, finances, non-material wealth. So what it is that you're going to invest in over these next few months, think carefully, don't make any rash decisions, but you're not known for being rash anyway. But trust, and trust in your relationship in the sense of, right, we need a sounding board in some way or another, because where I've got to is I've got crossed swords. 2 of Swords is all about deadlock. Thou shalt not pass. So in some way or another, the thoughts are crossing. So whether we're having a discord with somebody, an argument with somebody, disagreement or something like that, I just feel like it's like sticking a stick in a muddy in the waters. It's stirring a lot of things up and you're getting a little bit distracted. So my feeling is with that is to take a step back and just review the situation. And say it seems to be all gentlemen tonight, a gentleman in the spirit world that's coming round you at this moment in time. It's put an arm around you. It's almost like you fell off your bike in some way or another, and he's just picking you up and dusting off your grey's knees. Everything doesn't have to be perfect before it's right. So just cut yourself some slack and take some time out to sit with your nearest and dearest, because we've got the two of cups there. 2 of cups is that lovely relationship card. It's where you're in that right place, but are you pouring from the same cup? So for me, you've got an expert with you. Sit down and be honest. And it's a bit of a strange one, Pete, but I'm also going to say to you, just swallow a bit of macho pride in some way or another. You know, you're tuning into a hell of a lot of different vibrations at the moment, but it will all come good in the right time, mate. So, sorry, all done. Thank you very much. Let me just have a look. Does the name John mean something to you? I know a few Johns personally. And before I came upstairs, Serendipity, what I asked was the new guy that's coming in at the moment. I feel like he's sussing out the lay of the land, which is the best way I can put it. I'm just trying to, just in case you from the other side of the pond. So just assessing what I'm like and what I'm dealing with at the moment, because there's a lot going on personally from the mental health perspective that needs understanding. And I am going to put a video out at some point about how this is playing out in my mind, because when you're grieving for somebody, and I mentioned this before in the last one, when you're grieving, it hits you in funny ways. But when you've known something for such a long time and then it all changes, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game Kaplunk. All right, so the game of Kaplunk was around when I was little, so sort of 70s, and you'd have like these cocktail sticks going through this tube, right? And once all of these had been put in, I don't know how many sticks you had, you put them through like that. And then you put a load of marbles on the top, and the idea was to pull the sticks out, and the one that had got the most sticks at the end and the least amount of marbles was the winner. And that's what my life has become about at this moment in time, because something there was triggered by my dad's passing that's got nothing to do with my dad's passing, but it's kind of like opened up this portal to look at my belief system, the energies that are around me. I've had all of this spare energy, all of this sorrow, all of this anger, all of this difficulty all come in at me. And it's like the roof caving in. So at some point, if you call it dark night of the soul, call it rebuilding, call it what you like, I've got to rebuild. And what I know, or what I did know, is now no longer the case. So it's putting those things. So I think what he's doing is helping support me, because my idea of the work that I do is I'm a healer's healer. I had a dream about going into the spirit lands and helping people pick up parts of their soul that they've left behind. I had a very strong message that I'm like the fallen angel type of person that's flown a bit too close to the sun, got burned, and this is what my life's mission is. But because I'm an ordinary guy as well, I've also got all of the crap that we have to deal with on Earth. So it's trying to find the strength, the knowledge, and the resolution to use my energy correctly. And at the minute, I'm not quite finding the balance. So what I term myself as, and I've not made this up because there's only so many times that you can reinvent the wheel, is that I'm a therapeutic medium. And a therapeutic medium, I just bring my energy to subjects, to people. Right. So when we talk about things and you look at the words, you bring an energy across to somebody and they go, oh, you know, and I know that that's being powered through me. I'm not part of it. I am the conduit for it, but it's learning how to use it. It's like I've been saying to the missus that a lot of what I find difficult at the moment with spirituality is like you're given access to these fantastic powers and this energy and not having the instruction book. It's like having the latest iPhone and not knowing how to use it. Mind you, it wouldn't matter whether it was an iPhone or a bloody whatever. I still won't be able to use it, still get it upside down. 100% agree with that. Serendipity, thank you. Thank you very much. You hit the like button. I really, really appreciate that. Hope you're well. Tara, right. Are we still on? Are we still on, Tara? Are we still on, Tara? You have a YouTube channel. I'm actually working on a fiction book. Right. I'm going to come to you, Annabelle, in a minute, because for me, you are amazing. Please, anybody who's watching this that hasn't subscribed to Fortune Cookies Tarot by Annabelle, please go on and check her out. She's on a lot more regularly than I am, and she does some fantastic work. And at some point, we are going to do a collaboration during this year. And sort of, I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm going to bring to the table because I'm a bit random, but I'll fit in there somewhere. And I work and I look at the lists, and I just go, right, what I'm drawn to, and give my blend of whatever it is that I'm feeling, because it's not stated fact, because I'm a big believer that spirit give you that opportunity to look at things before making that decision. Nobody's going to force you to do anything. So Tara, if you're still on, can you just give me a little bit of a thumbs up, or just let me know that you're there? So I've still got a lot of comments that I've missed. Dear, bless me. Just let me know if you're there. Gosh, la la la. I don't know what was going on there. I was nearly. Right. Let me just I think I can make some sense of that. Right. Now, what I want you to do with that, Pete, is take the bits out of that you know to be true and reorganize it. Right. And imagine that you was going on waste disposal, and you were stood at a conveyor belt, right? And everything that's coming towards you, thoughts, decisions, actions, all of your responsibilities, slow the conveyor belt down and take out the relevant pieces for yourself. Because whatever's going on with you, you are going up a level. You are changing levels. You might be changing guides. You might be changing directions. Don't be afraid, but pick out the relevant bits. I am, like I say, just a conduit. Nothing I've said to you is important. It's my perspective of what I'm picking up. So just trust that you're doing the right thing. That's what I'm gonna keep highlighting to you. All right, let's keep going down these because I don't want to miss anybody. I have a client, right? Thanks very much, Pete. I appreciate your time, my friend. Yeah, I like that. You know, so if you speak to me as a normal on when I'm not doing this tarot, yeah, I agree with that. Make your own plan. Sometimes it's just that little bit of bullheadedness, that little bit of the Taurian in me that will just go, right, none of the options seem to fit me, so I'll go down the route that I choose. See, the thing is about me, I've always been quite a loner since I was a kid. So I've not had a great deal of people in that sense to bounce off. So sometimes when the decision's there, there's nobody to ask. And I'm always one of these that takes accountability for any action that I said, because I've had to over the years, because the amount of times my gob's got me into trouble is just beyond belief. But I go, right, if I said that, then yeah, that's what I said. I don't backtrack on anything. Yes, I'm getting places of discomfort when I'm trying to explain myself because maybe it didn't come across in the right way, but I always trust what is meant to be is meant to be. So, you know, I find it quite interesting. Right, let me just have a look there. Peter, I see we have mutual friends. Yeah, okay, brilliant. Yeah, I love that card. And I love that card. Can mean study, brilliant. Wonderful reading. Thank you. We'll keep going. I'm just catching up. Yeah, it's strange at the minute, Annabelle. What's going through my head at the minute with the visions? Because I never considered myself visual until me and Mrs. P were talking in the kitchen the other day about certain topics and things, probably not related to spirit. And she said, you're very visual in the way that you explain things. The speed of your delivery is that you're processing quite a lot of stuff at quite a high pace. Where are you getting it from? Well, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, but I've not sort of put that together as being visual, but it obviously is because I'm getting pictures in my mind and they're coming through so strong. Right. Yes, you are a healer. I still have. Brilliant. We could be here all night on this one because honestly, it is. I saw it, the post that was put on by one of my great friends on. If I'm just trying to remember sorry, I'm just hesitating because I'm just trying to remember a name at the moment. On Embracing Angels. Where have we gone there? On Embracing Aging. Sorry, something just sort of cropped up there and blocked my vision. Embracing Aging, and she put a post on there. And I've been following a lot of her work. And then there's another friend on there that's put a post on, and she's an astrologist. And I looked at that and it sent a shiver through me because it was so accurate about what I'm experiencing at the moment energetically. It is really great. But it's also a little bit unnerving as well that somebody's managed to get that deep into the soul. Right. So I have problems maintaining my energy. Right. Don't know whether this will help. I'll just say TD because we'll save a bit of energy. I don't know whether this will help. Right. Start splitting your energy efforts down into transactions. Right. So remember that you have got so many life hours to live in this life. All right. So what it is with that life hours is an investment in something. So if we can relate that to currency, what am I spending my currency on? So when I've got something there that I'm really, really excited about and really, really looking forward to, I will quite happily spend much of my life hours and my time on producing the best that I can. Then when I look at some of the things that I whiffle and worry about and get myself stressed and anxious about, I'm also spending quite a lot of that life hours and that investment, and it gives me no return. On the days where I am too tired and I don't have much energy, I've got to look at what is my return going to be from just sitting on the sofa, just not doing anything. if it's good for my mental health that I need a rest, then it's worth investing in it. Essentially, what we're looking at doing for anything that we invest in is a return. And like any investment, it needs looking at and maintaining. So if you have problems maintaining your energy, look at what you're investing in and then reach a compromise with yourself. How much can I manage? How much can I actually do? How much can I actually achieve? And the only person that you need to make accountable for all of this is yourself. Right? Don't go selling off your energy to other people. Right, I'll get to you when I get to you. I'll do my best. If I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. But I no longer sit there and beat myself up if I haven't quite done something, because I'll have a look at the targets that I've set myself. Have I been realistic? Have I been sensible in saying that I can manage all of that when I might not be able to do it? All you can do, TD, is just do your best. Right. So, Tara, did I read for you? Oh dear, Tara, did I read for you? Oh, I'm going to pull you some cards anyway. Tara, did I read for you? Can you let me know if you're still here? Because I don't know whether I read for you now. I've got distracted, haven't I? Oh dear, look, there's all these comments gone past. Oh dear. Let me have a look. Yeah. I don't know if she's gone now because we've had a drop off of a few people, which is fine. I understand that. Right. I'm going to just turn her. What I'm going to do, just in case I did read for or I didn't read for, I'm going to turn her over an angel card. That's Tara. Ace of Michael. Right. So Michael for me is one of my heroes angelically because he is the omnipresent bodyguard. Ah, Tara's in the house. No, you didn't. Thank you. Right. I'm on it. Right. So I will do the tarot cards. Sorry, I'm still a bit all over the place with energy and one or two other things. I'm not making excuses, but it's truthfully happening. My head is like Swiss cheese at the minute. Oh dear, honestly. Right, get back in focus. I believe in right and divine timing as well. So the fact that I've forgotten something, no excuses are made because that's what I've done. I've got distracted as per usual, but I put the warning out that I'm like that, and people then have the choice. So one of my lessons this year is going to be to stop apologizing to people when there's no apology necessary. So my sense is with you that the reason that this situation has come about is to say the same for you is it's now time for you to step up onto a new vibration, onto a new platform. I can't even say the word here. Platform, right? I've got my first lady in with me of the night, and I'm connecting in around somebody that's either had the stroke condition or Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that has affected the ability to speak. If it's not her, then it's connected with somebody around on this earth plane that somebody's bringing their energy in. But it is definitely female, and that's what I'm channeling down. I just get the feeling that they're in my energy, in my tongue there as I'm speaking, because all it's like I can't pronounce my words properly. So back to the cards, right? Ace of Michael, the bodyguard, the omnipresent bodyguard that you can take a knee behind when all of the flack's flying. Aces, new beginnings, new starts, new ways of looking at things. Blue is all about communicating and saying what your wishes are. So a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. Right. So that's the angel card. Quick turnover of a couple of cards for you as well, because you've been gracious enough to wait for me while I've been babbling on. Sorry about that. Oh, there's no organization. I mean, you know, if I ever got anywhere, I don't know. I know we've got a few American people on and people from other countries other than ours, but in this country, when we've got the football going on and they come out onto the football pitch, the players do, and the kids lead them on as mascots. Do you know what? I think I need somebody like that as a mascot to lead me around, because I am so absent-minded at times. I go walking off somewhere, you know, it could be a thought process in the middle of a task, and then I'm stood there going, right, what should I have been doing? I need somebody guiding me all of the time. And I'm lucky that when I'm working spiritually, I'm so grateful for the fact that they make allowances for that and give me the time to catch up. Oh, dear, honestly. Oh, lovely. Right. perseverance, and this is where we've really had to crack on with it, isn't it? Oh, this is where we've really had to sort of bite the bullet here, right? So there we go. We've got perseverance, 9 of Wands. So there's been a lot of hard work for you done over these last 3 or 4 years, and it's learning about the journey for you. And I really do feel the need to say to you, right, I feel it's time for a complete rest. It's almost like taking you into a garage and somebody's talking to me about doing the suspension and doing an overhaul and doing a service. So it seems a bit odd for somebody like me to sit here and say you need a good service, because it could be taken totally out of context. But I get the sense that where this is coming through from is somebody that would have been that's in the spirit world, that would have had the ability to deal with engines and had a good interest in cars and motors and things like that. It's just unfortunately there's a crossover with my mind and what I'm actually giving, because my head at times is stuck in the old Carry On films that I'm a bit nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So when I hear silly words, I start laughing. So I apologise, Tara, and I said I wasn't going to apologise, so I broke that one already, haven't I? So what this is showing you, the wands are showing the work that is behind you that you've done. We're coming up on task because we're at 9, so we're nearly at that stage of having a project in a practical level completed. So what I'm saying to you is that you're closer than what you think. So it's that last push to get yourself where you want to be. So rest if you need to, but don't give up. So it's perseverance, because you've also got the Chariot card, and the Chariot card is success by your own efforts. But what it gives you as the cautionary part of it is to say, right, you need to keep your focus, because this won't happen overnight. So all of the work that you've done, when you're just near the finishing line and your head goes, do you know what, I've had enough. It's not paying off. It's not working out, whatever it is, then take a breath, take a minute, have a slug of tea, have a glass of wine, reassess the lay of the land, and then just go, right, I just need a little bit more energy. And like I was saying to Pete earlier on, where am I investing my life hours? What am I putting my time into? Is it time to like relist it, relook at it, or something like that? Or is it just sheer guts and determination? But the key word with that card is focus. And where we're going to end up, and this is one of the things that I took off Annabelle there, what we need, what we want, and what we end up with. Well, what we end up with is that happy family unit, because we've got the completion there, which is the 10 of Cups, which is happy, stable family times and relationships. And I'm not a big believer in perfect, but as close to perfect as we can get, because we're at the end of that journey there with the 10. So you're heading in the right direction. Just keep up that good work and don't give up. Okay. And I've got Kate Bush singing round in my head there as like, don't give up. So, okay. All right. Annabelle, I hope you're still there, because you're a wonderful support, and thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you have time, yeah, I will definitely do that. I just said to Mum, Mrs., that I won't be on. Like I was on 2 hours last week, and I won't be on that long. But I want to get through as many as I can. And you've got some lovely people on here that say, I'm not quite where I want to be energetically myself, but this is where I believe that when you step in and you commit yourself to spirit, and I've always said this right from the very beginning of doing any of this work, before I even got into reading cards and things like that, my belief system's always been that if you invest £1 in the spirit world, they'll invest 10 back in you. So I'm going to take a leaf out of your book, Fortune Cookies, Annabelle, there. And I'm going to do, let's just make sure my cards are actually in the right way. I'm going to do you 3 cards. And all I want you to do, with the greatest of respect, and I don't very often do this, is to ask you to not put any of your knowledge into play with these cards until you've gone off here. I'm not bothered whether you look at it later on and go, that's what I take from it. That's fine. Right, but I just want you to take whatever, because I feel like I'm channeling one of your guides. I feel like I'm channeling a very strong lady guide. Now, I don't know whether I've got angel or I don't know whether I've just got this vibration, because I was watching something last night that said that there is no race or nationality or imagery, that spirit bring through what you can understand. But I feel like I'm channeling one of your guides, and the sense is that you are accelerating through levels, and your work is going to hit a bigger dimension, is going to hit a wider audience over, and it's going to have something to do with either celebrities or somebody that is more well known. And I don't, no disrespect to anybody on YouTube or anything like that, but there are people out there that are like, I don't know, you know, like these reality TV people, and then there are people out there that are professional celebrities that achieve things, that I feel that you're going to come into contact with somebody like that that is going to catapult your energy to a whole new level. And there's going to be some sort of contract offer on that is going to have that, you know, I've spoken about the non-material wealth aspect of it, that I feel that in these next sort of 6 or 8 months, there's something bubbling in the background that you're aware of at the moment, but it's going to get bigger, if that makes sense. That's what I'm being told at the moment. And I don't know whether, I'm a I've looked at that, right, and I'm sure I've got spiritual Tourette's, because what I was going to say when you, in fact, I'll just highlight this. I'm a reality show all on my own, right? I'm a shit show all on my own. Honestly, I could get myself in trouble in an empty room, and I don't mean to. I set out with such good intention. I've just had a problem with my car that's cost me an absolute fortune. And in my mind, I was thinking, could I save myself some money by doing this repair myself? Because Google knows everything, doesn't it? You know, there's a video on YouTube and a video on Google for everything. So I looked at it, and they showed this mechanic stripping out this particular part. And he said, what tends to happen when they've had this issue is that somebody's tried to adjust it with non-mechanical consideration. I thought, what the bloody hell does that mean? Anyway, it turns out that it means clumsy git that's busted or is a bit ham-fisted. So that's me. Put my hands on stuff and end up breaking it. I don't mean to snap things in half, but that's just what I'm like. Right. 4 of Swords, lady. And this is another one where I get my teeth wrapped around it because I can't say it properly. This is about convalescence. I say it slowly, then that way I can get it out. So this is time for something that I feel when I've got the 4 there. I always explain that 4 for me represents stability, and 99 times out of 100, I'm going to look for positivity in that stability. But also, I'm a realist. So I also say to people that sometimes if we let our thoughts run away with us, we can stabilize some of the more negative stuff. So what this card always says to me is, right, I need to sort of take account of myself, say to somebody, it's whatever it is that's going on, address the issue, and essentially, right, I look here over the battles over the last 5 years with you that you've been through, that you've won, 3 major things that you've overcome, that you've dealt with, that you've come to terms with, that there is still something there that is under the armor. Right and divine timing will dictate when it is right for you to take up arms again. So if you notice where the sword is actually laid with them, it's within arm's reach, that when the time is right, that thought is ready to be challenged. But because it's convalescence, it's basically advocating for you at this moment in time, slow your pace down and have a bit of a rest. Learn to delegate. I feel like I've got a grandfather figure around you as well that comes in there, and I feel that he's got this real sort of skip in his step, because the image I've got in my mind at the moment is us all skipping down the yellow brick road and we're off to see the wizard. And then there's something there with that I need to get you in some way or another to peer behind the curtain. I had a few of these moments last year that was quite uncomfortable, that I had to peer behind the curtain because the magic that was being thrown at me didn't actually turn out and manifest. And this was down to other people not quite being as honest as what I expected. So it's one of those that once I learn that lesson, I don't go back there. So I don't know what that actually means, but that's what I'm feeling. I need to uncross swords with me and have a bit of a rest. Right, I've got the 10 of Pentacles for you, which is my war chest card. Pentacles, money, finances, riches, enrichment, non-material wealth. I see this card like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I like the idea of that. I've been sensible with my money. I've worked hard to get to the finances in balance where I want to be. So assuming I use the same mindset that when it comes to the bigger purchases, because of the groundwork that I've laid, I am going to have enough finances to fund the bigger projects. I'm not one of these that sits there and talks about lottery wins or anything like that. But what I talk about there is that gives me that stability and that knowledge and that comfort that over these next couple of years, longer term, as long as I keep investing in myself and the non-material wealth aspect, then I will end up prosperous. Right. And the King of Cups there, for me, when I read the King of Cups there, this for me is getting in charge of your emotions. Cups are all about emotions. The orange there, again, like we're saying, it's the waste product center. It's your intuition. It's the sacral chakra. It's your drive, your sexuality, everything that makes you you. Now, it's all right being all things to all people, and I understand that need to want to people please, but at some point we need to take stock and take charge and maybe sit down with significant others and possibly ask for help. I'm being told that you are off screen quite a warrior and quite a I'm trying to think of the right words, quite a warrior and quite a force to be reckoned with. Thank you. That's what the words I was looking with. But we can't be the warrior all of the time. Sometimes we just need to take that break. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense for you. Let me just have a look back through to see if I've missed anybody. I am new here. Crystal Pickett, I hope you let me know if you're still here, and then I'll pick some cards, because I know that wife of the grumpy old Marine, I think you asked me about your son a little bit further back, and I missed that. So can you let me know if you're still there, and then I will carry on reading. Anybody on there that's asked for that reading, if you're still on, can you just let me know that you're actually in, and I will read for anybody that is less. Tripping over my tongue still. I still got somebody with me, very, very strong in their mind, that they're leaning on my energy. Let me just have a critique in your cooking. You're in your kitchen. Good on you. It was not as warm and fuzzy as a grandmama should give me. I love it when people just pop in. I really do. Crystal Pickett, are you still here? Because what are we on? 6 minutes ago. So I was a little bit white around there. All right. I'm down here, Rick, but I don't have a son. It was right. Somebody asked for a card for their son earlier on, and I possibly missed it. Right. So I'll read for you, Emma Lou, and I hope you're well. And I don't know, are we at the same venue on Saturday, Sunday? Are you there? Lovely, lovely lady that you are. Because God knows how I'm going to talk up, how I'm going to turn up. Because I say, my energy at the moment is all over the place. So this is where you just got to trust spirit and what turns up. God, the cards are so lively tonight. All right. Ooh. Ooh, he says, getting excited. Da-da-da. Right. Heat buttons. Yeah, certainly will. Wife of Grumpy Old Marine. Yeah, I certainly will. I will get you that. So, Emma Lou. Right. There's something there that we need to move on from. I'm not a big one for pushing people. No, I'm not working. I'm working. Didn't know if you saw me YouTube posting. Oh. No. If you saw me. I didn't actually. No, I didn't. Right. So something there where I've got to emotionally move on from. So swords, I always think of them hurdles, problems, obstacles to overcome, matters of the mind and the intellect, how you think and how you process information. This card talks about moving from choppy waters into calmer waters, and which is lovely, which is really nice, because what's actually happening is that you're progressing, and you are getting better at something, and you are moving forward. But not one of the things that we don't always take account of is, if you imagine this sword's cut you in some way or another and has left an imprint, that takes time to heal from. So it's not saying that you've not done enough, or you've not stop me posting bits. It's not that you've not done enough, but what it's saying is that taking accountability of what's happened over these last 6 months. So I don't know, relationship wise, where you are, or something like that, where I know that you're promoting yourself quite a lot at the moment, which I think is absolutely brilliant, by the way. And you should be, because I've told you that you should be operating at a higher level than you currently are. But the good news is say your piece, say whatever it is that you need to do, because what is happening is that you are moving into calmer waters. So just take account of the fact that swords leave that mark, do whatever healing you need to do. And as I was singing in my head there, and I'm not going to sing to you because I don't want it raining any more than it has been in Lincoln, carry on regardless. So I've got the Three of Pentacles there, which is, this is, for me, is about discovering your talents and actually working with your talent. So this is quite like an apprenticeship card for me. So I might be starting something. It might be something that I've done previously before. It might be something that I've put on the back burner because I've been too busy to do whatever. But this is showing finances, money, enrichment. And you look at the guy there, if I can just get it so that the light's not bouncing off it, then what he's doing there is showing great pride in his work, and he's doing it by his own fair hands. So I don't know if there's new ideas and new ways of promotion coming up for you, or a new job, or a new direction that you're actually going in. But remember, just who the bloody hell you are. Your story will make an interesting book. Your story would make an interesting advocate for somebody else to help. Don't dismiss anything, because what I found with this is pretty much most of what I planned has come about by, it's not chance, is it? It's spirit and part of your blueprint. But lots of the things that I've thought have changed over these last 10 years. They really have. So I openly welcome it, as long as it's not giving me that any negative vibration or any negative energy. I'll work with it and give it a chance. And then I've got the Page of Wands. So pages for me are the errand boys. They bring in information and opportunities to make a difference in your life. In this case, the practical side of things. So what news is he bringing to you in regards to the practical sides of life? So your job, where you live, relationships that you're having, something like that. So giving you that opportunity to move from one stuck situation to something a little bit more fluid. Have you got the energy to do it? Well, much like I was saying earlier on, it depends on where you're putting your energy in your life hours too. So resting for you as well, but not for too long. I have a feeling for you that it's going to be a busy year, and that you're going to have your fingers in a lot of pies. So lots to look forward to. Let me have a go. Moving to, right. Yeah. You see, yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Let me just see where I was. I'm sorry. I'll just go back here and just see if I've missed anybody, because I'll do a couple more and then I'll get off, because I think Mrs. P will be back from an exercise class. It wasn't me. About an issue I had with my eldest son yesterday. It was my fault. Right. Okay. Forgiveness, communication, love, soul guidance. Right. That's just off the top of my head. Okay. And I feel that what's needed with that one, Rainbow Roses and Angel card. Right. It would all be better if you just made a decision and don't overanalyze, find a compromise. So for me, when it's blue, it's clear communication. I've got 2 unicorns butting heads. Well, unicorns for me are magical creatures. So don't torture yourself. Sit down, explain yourself clearly. And if you feel that you've come across in the wrong way or it's been received in the wrong way, sit down, and I can do a lot. Take your medicine, because you can't 100% know what somebody else is feeling. And you can't keep apologizing when you've got a feeling, because your feelings matter as well. So my sense is uncrossing the swords and sit down there and have a quick, clear dialogue. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Let me just keep going through this thing there. Wife of the good girl. Right, I'm just going to highlight that because I can't find your other comment. I've gone back a little bit. So cards. Quick swig of tea because it's gone cold now. It's a bit dry. So thanks very much, guys, for the support. And whether this gets me to 1,000 or whatever, I genuinely appreciate the support with this channel. Readings can be booked with me, but I'm not pushing them at the moment on this channel. I'm just doing this because I like doing it. But if anybody wants to check out my other pages, I'm doing therapy work, and I'm also doing healing work that I'm looking at how I market that and how I work with that. It's kind of like there's a lot of psychology involved in things that the mental health dynamic, but I'm building that. So I've got my old plates on with that. But as I say earlier on, this new guide that's coming in is very strong, very protective. So I think that in these next 6 months, there's going to be a lot to come from me in that regards, and we will see what happens. I wait with bated breath. Right. Interesting connection there, wife. I'm going to call you wifey because I can't keep saying that. Keep tripping up my words as it is. So wifey. What I've got here, I've got the 9 of Swords. So this is a card that's known as misery and depression. Right? Misery, anxiety, all of the worrisome thoughts, because we've got the swords there. But here's the kicker with this, right? So I always state to people when I'm reading for them, I don't work with darkness or negativity. I work with truth, honesty, uplight, love, and upliftment, right? Which is fair, which is true. I also realise that out there we can have things there that unsettle us, upskittle us, the more difficult sides of life, sides to life. I am not naive in any sense of the word, but I don't feel the need to project any more darkness out there than there already is. When I look at this card, I point out, because I've said many times before, if you've watched me before, you will know that I go a lot by the acronym of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So then that way, when it comes in, I know what they're showing me, I can deliver it. And when they talk about KISS for me, I look at this card and I want to take it to pieces. You've got a lady there that's sat in bed, upright, with worry and anxiety around us, troublesome thoughts. She's laid there over and analysing and overthinking. And then I ask a simple question. If we had every one of those swords and ask, what are they? Well, we've identified that they're troublesome thoughts. And then the next thing to say is, how many of them actually touch you? Right? And the answer is none. So all of these thoughts are in her mind and her imagination, and she is giving them fuel. The other thing to notice is that what good's she going to do by worrying and getting anxious when she should be in bed, resting and sleeping? So this is like putting a curfew on your mind and saying, right, I will deal with this when I can. 2-3 o'clock in the morning is not an appropriate time to solve anything that's worrisome or troubling. You need to be at your full strength or as close to, so that you can get yourself sorted. And then if we look right there, is to try and get that into the camera shot there, if we can just get that settled, just there, hiding behind those swords, is an owl. And the owl denotes wisdom, which says to me that you've got all of the tools and all of the things necessary to help you find an answer to that current problem. What's holding you back is we've got the Devil card, And the devil card is a card of self-enslavement, so much like the lady in there. It's what troublesome thoughts I've got myself attached to. What am I struggling with? So when I look at there with the problem that I've got there, well, number one, he's on fire, which for me, I'd be going, right, am I causing myself pain? Because immediately the first thing I want to do with that is bloody put the fire out, so I'm not getting burned. Number two is I can't see bugger all because I've got this helmet on my head and my eyes are covered. So I'm going to be in the head because that's all I can see. And the other thing is that it's an overindulging card. So what are we masking? What are we keeping away from? What is our truth? What is our reality? And just basically standing there in that place of fire and going, this is uncomfortable, but this needs dealing with. Am I right on this one? Am I wrong? How do I feel? Who do I need to interact with? How do I need to deal with the situation? And then, as far as you humanly can, chucking the bugger in the bucket and moving on. And then we've got the lovely lovers card there. So when I look at this card, the big thing for me here is this bicep. Now, I know that all relationships are 50-50 pretty much, and you lift one another. You can't do it all on your own is my message with this card here. So speak to your nearest and dearest, those that can give you a lift, those that can negotiate with you, those that can help you manage, and be kind to yourself always. My video this morning that I put on there was love yourself first, because if you lower your vibration by being critical of yourself or telling yourself that you're not good enough, that lowers your vibration so that other people can then treat you in that manner. So while I might not feel like I'm anything good or not up to par or whatever else I'm telling myself, I can't let that energy go out into the universe, because that allows and magnetizes myself to other lower vibrational frequencies. So love yourself first, and that's what I'm going to leave you with. And I'm trying to move, let's have a look at that. I'm trying to move forward with my health and work. You really are. You really are. And I mean, the progress that I've seen you make, considering I do know about, and I'm not going to expose details on here, considering what you've been through, you've done absolutely amazing, and yet you've still got time to check in on other people, and I feel privileged to actually know you as well and interact with you. So thank you for coming on. I have the cold. I have when I used to, so I very briefly, because I'm going to get off soon, I used to drive explosives up and down the country for military defense and security things. And I found a mug that's absolutely brilliant for that. And I love to have my hot chocolate with me. I'm not a fan of tea in takeaway cups, polystyrene cups, cardboard cups, or anything like that. Sorry about that. That's my dog's. It must be Mrs. P on the way back. I can't stand the tang that it gives off. So I like me, but I can drink cold tea, but that's only because I've been talking so much. So hot chocolate, and that's the thing that's really I'm looking forward to in a minute. So let me have a look at that. Does anyone know if you can't upload, does it mean that YouTube has stopped me? No, I don't know that one. Does anyone, if you can't upload videos, does that mean YouTube has stopped me? I've not encountered that, so I don't know if anybody else has got any more wise advice on that, because you know how tech I am. All right, somebody's picked up on that. Thanks, Annabelle. I appreciate that. I've even reinstalled it. Right, okay, yeah. Anything tech. Oh dear. Oh, bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll not highlight that, but thank you. Bless you. I'm going to agree. I don't like storing my tea. I don't. I used to take a metal flask with me at the start, but I can't manage it. I was doing some deliveries for a local furniture company. I used to have my flask with me then, and it was the highlight of my afternoon, because I've never enjoyed working until I started doing my spirit work. But one of the things that I used to look forward to is we'd have a tea break in the morning, a lunch break, and then a short tea break in the afternoon. And if I'd managed to get just enough of a swallow at the end of my flask for the afternoon tea break, always great in my world. I didn't tend to worry about anything. So this has got cold. So I think on that, unless I've really missed anybody, I'm going to say thank you very much for coming on here again and just bringing a bit of light to my life. And I love interacting with you. And I'm looking at how I can bring in doing the mental health podcast type of thing, because I want to work on a separate vibration with that, with the energy in the end being brought in together. But at the moment, I'm only sort of strong enough to do this without worrying about it. The mental health thing is like kind of exposing a side of my character that I'm not comfortable with everybody. So I've got to work on the strategy with it, and it will be, I think it'll be audience driven. I've got lots of things going through my mind. So there's lots of bits of paper being scribbled on at the moment. So I'm just grateful for everybody that tunes in, and hopefully whatever that algorithm thing is, it'll pick up on me at some point, because I do what I do. So people will either like it or they won't. So we'll just come to the end of it there. And I'm going to say thank you very much. Absolutely honoured that you spent some of your time and your life's hours. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. And as I'm now saying on the majority of my videos, I want to say, keep shining, being the true you. And as always, don't sweat the small stuff. Good night and God bless. Thank you.